Good morning. Frankie's got a new toy. Oh, I should have waited to give it to him until I was on camera so you can see. He is so happy. He's, since I first got him, he's intensely afraid to get in vehicles. And he won't get in, and now he'll get in one. He's been so much better last months. But the first time, we went for a drive, oh gosh, just a mile or two away. He threw up and defecated. He was just terrified. Thought maybe it was seasick, got him some Benadryl. And if you give it to him in just the right time, he'll be okay for a while. But he's just terrified. He won't get in unless you bribe him, and he's got to be in the mood. So I use peanut butter. I've used all kinds of things. But anyway, it was a work in progress. And now I was able to throw the toy in the car, in the back of the car, and like, go find, and really worked on it, got him excited. And he actually got in the car by himself without me being in it first. Normally I have to get in first or be standing right in there with him. Where he kind of knows I'm getting in. So this was a sweet victory. I wish I would have videotaped it. Well, you know what? You can't live your life on video. That's the truth. Or you can, but that'd be a shame, huh? Okay. So he's so happy. We didn't get as big of a run this morning as I would have liked to have had. I just wasn't in the mood. I've been staying up way too late the last couple nights trying to self-soothe. So I've been watching Golden Girls and silly fun shows on TV, and it's been helping because, you know, there are atrocities all day, every day, forever, and I have to keep reminding myself that this is the humans. Not everybody is raised the same. Not everybody has the same morals or cultures. And that is really important in how people handle their stress. So I just have to keep letting it go, over and over and over and over and over again, letting it go. I guess I'm even only mentioning it because I imagine you're struggling too. I imagine you have heartbreak over what's going on as well, especially since it's all over television. You know, we get a reprieve from one thing, then another, then something else comes up. It's like whack-a-mole. I just want you to know that if you're upset by all of this, you're not alone. If you're not quite sure how to take sides, I understand that too. I think where I'm at right now is I don't know enough to take sides politically. What I do know is I want it to stop, and I'm willing. Well, now at my age, you know, there was a time when I would have been willing to help. Like, what can I do to make this stop? But I've learned too that there's so much money behind behaviors like this that they don't want it to stop. Somebody's feeding the fire. I know that. You know that. People don't misbehave for no reason. They don't. Not normally. Some people are bad, born, but that is rare. That is rare. Somebody usually gets fed the wrong information for their personality type. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about me. My favorite subject. I meant to look up excuse me. I meant to look up different defense mechanisms. I kind of shared a couple of my favorite ones in the last video, but there are some that are more common for some people. So I thought I would look that up, but I can't think. For some reason, I get in front of the video and I can't think. When I'm with a client and they're engaged and I'm engaged, there seems like this flow. And it's such a flow that sometimes they'll say, oh, can you say that again? I'm writing it down. And I'm like, I have no idea what I just said. That happens all the time. Why am I wearing white? Because I'm getting out of the house today, and the shirt I want to wear, I didn't think of it when I bought it. It's a flannel button down. It's in the other room. I need to wear a white t-shirt under it. I don't really want to leave the house. It looks like it's going to rain. It's cooling off. I don't know. But one of the defense mechanisms that I have is, which that's reminds me, it all's kind of coming full circle, is I'm a thinker. Think. Whether it makes sense or not, whether I can find my words or not, I'll just keep thinking, and I'll skip over and blip over the part that I don't know just to keep on talking, because if I keep on talking, it keeps the other person from telling me how they really feel. If I keep on talking and somehow take control of the conversation, I feel like I'm going to win. And either they get offended because it's not a conversation if two people aren't talking. It's a lecture, or it's a dialogue. Kind of like what I do here on YouTube with you, because we can't talk back and forth. So I'm going, I already have my coconut oil on. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll just go to my tried and true. Because I'm going to be probably up close to people, and I want to look natural. I'm going to do this with a brush because I'm wearing a white t-shirt. So I'm going to use my little chubby and rub this in. Okay, so back to another defense mechanism. The thing is, many people, and it's almost, it can be a way of being controlling, which was my thing. I was afraid if I didn't have control, I was going to just die. I mean, seriously, I just could not be in a relationship where I didn't have control. And I was willing to lose it if I had to somehow give in, because I just would not. Oh my God, I got makeup right in my hairline. That was awesome. Talk. Intellectualization. And because I am smart, but I'm not brilliant. But what I do have is I have an empathetic mirror neuron level that looks intuitive to some people. It looks like I'm almost a mind reader to some people, and I'm not. It's just that I was born into a family where it helped to be hyper vigilant. Pay attention. You better pay attention. I could tell, and some of you, I'm learning because you're sharing, and God bless you and know how grateful I am for that. It's what a gift to be able to share on such a deep level, and meaningful level. But I really benefited by paying attention, which helped this hypervigilance to zero in on what's going on. I could tell when my mom walked in the house, when she did come home, by the level of her chin and this area right in here, and her, of course, her eyes and her posture, before I ever heard her open her mouth, how drunk she was. Not just that she was drunk. Oh, she's drunk again. It was how drunk, because that's what was important. It wasn't that she was drunk. It's where was she in her alcohol intake? Where was she? Tipsy? Getting there? Drunk? Super drunk? Sloppy drunk? Barely tipsy? You know, which hardly ever happened. But that would just, being barely tipsy just pissed her off. So we'll go there. God, I love that makeup. It is so easy to put on, even with a brush. I haven't touched it with my fingers and it looks great. Okay. It's so dark. Okay, so anyway, I learned, and I'm not quite sure how it evolved. I think it was because of some of the people she would bring home on occasion. I learned that if I talked, it might distract them and bore them, and like it took the sexiness out of any brain cells they had. Oh, and I also knew how to from my mom, I learned how to be sarcastic and give double-edged compliments, or what do they call it? Double-sided compliments. I learned a lot of negative things from her. So I'm using my jar loose powder. It's Coty and CoverGirl mix to get the color that I wanted. And because I'm wearing a white t-shirt, I should have put a bandana around my t-shirt. But I tapped really good. See, I take it out of the jar and I kind of flick it down in the jar, and then I do this. So that's good. That's good enough. I'm not going to wear under eye cover because I'm going to be way too close to people and it wrinkles up too much. And I can tell you this, makeup on YouTube may look good when people keep piling on and piling on and piling on, and then they have that glow lamp that makes them look flawless and beautiful. I then look at people in public who try to do that, and they're following those tips, and it's very distracting to me because I'm an analyzer, I'm a yapper, I'm a talker. So I have to make myself stop, which takes some work sometimes, to stop the chatter in my head, because I'm analyzing like, wow, she got talked into by somebody to use this sparkly stuff all over this whole area, and it's blinding, especially when somebody's, you know, older. It's so noticeable that it's not, when it's subtle, it's kind of like, aw, she's trying. That's so cute. That's pretty. But when it's really kind of like a lot, it's just overdone, and it's very distracting from any kind of serious conversation. That's how I feel about it. So anyway, back to one of my defense mechanisms. I call it motor mouth. anyway, that was one of my nicknames for my mom, Motor Mouth. And, but it has served me well. A matter of fact, it served me so well that even in adulthood, it became a go-to. And that's where the problems start. You cannot have a relationship with someone who does all the talking. And I'm telling you what, it took me a long time to be able. I'm trying not to open my eye too much because that'll get up on my eyelid. I'm trying, and I still try to do it. Every once in a while it's an effort, but it gets easier. Let me move this over here. It gets easier over time. But I'm telling you, it takes a lot of practice. Oh, on a cellular level, physiologically, it is a challenge. Huge challenge. I'm going to try to get right down in my eyelashes with this brush so that, because like I told you, I don't do my waterline, but if I don't get in the eyelashes, then you can really see my waterline well, and I don't like that. This at least cuts through a little bit of it. I could probably do a little bit better job than that. Let's see. There we go. Just rubbed right down in those eyelashes. There we go. That's better than a kick in the butt. So when we, there's also one called stonewalling. Anyway, that's what I call it, stonewalling. I think the Gottmans call it stonewalling, where you just stop talking. You just stop talking. Not only do you just stop talking, but if you do say something, it's almost like you're changing the subject subtly, almost like gaslighting. So you gotta be careful of that too. A lot of the defense mechanisms are related to each other in sort of a hub. Like, here's my main one, and then there's a hub that goes, but I also do this, this, and this, and this, and this. But this is my drug of choice kind of thing. And one of the problems with defense mechanisms isn't that they're, of course they're useful. That's why we use them. Or they used to be useful, and now they're not so much, and now they're hard to quit. So it takes a lot of self-discipline. This is more evidence that our brain is addicted to certain processes, not just drugs that come in, but our brain drugs. So if you're like me and you say, the kitchen's too hot, get out of my fucking kitchen. Oh yeah, I used to say that. Oh my God, I was such a little brat. I thought that was hilarious. God, so rude of me. I'm sorry. I know I cussed. I know, go ahead. But I'm just sharing with you the gut level disrespect, lack of respect, almost more than disrespect. It was lack of respect. I didn't know how to respect someone on the outside of me because I kept being around people who hurt me. So it was just, there was no way for me. You know what? I'm going to use this MAC today. It'll match my brown shirt that I'm going to wear. I'm going to have to mix it with my mauve because that's just too colorful for me. Just a little bit. Just going to put a little bit of mauve in here. I think that's the only thing I can use to kind of take that orangey pink out. Now, see, that's perfect for me. Yay! So, yeah, I know I cuss. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And know that I have worked and worked and worked at growth, at not hurting people's feelings, of being more aware. And I have learned how to respect other people and not to expect to be hurt all the time, to expect joy, to expect love, to be able to give love freely. And if it's rejected, work through my feelings and leave it alone. Work through my feelings and leave it alone. Because there is nothing. I have a little. All right. I'm going to put on some mascara. So it's like, yap, 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 yap. You know, there are so many ways we block intimacy. Whether it's or protect our pride, right? So I'll come up with another defense mechanism when I get a chance. I'll have to look at them. I haven't looked at it for a long time because, thank God, when it's a work in progress, and it might take a while to be perfectly satisfied with my level of defensiveness, but I know that I have improved incredibly, and I'm so happy I have. So happy that I worked hard. I'll tell you, one of the hardest things about doing the work is shutting my mouth. When I want to go say something automatically, that was part of my practice, was learning to simply shut my mouth. I just had to say something. I just had to say something. If I didn't say something, if I didn't explain, I would tell a story 3-4 different ways to get understood. I wanted so much to be understood. But at the same time, I wasn't understanding them. I wasn't giving back. I just wanted them to hear me, to see me, to understand me, to defend me, to love me. That's all I wanted. I didn't think about who it was that I was trying to win over, whether they were worthy, whether they were worth being all that energy, whether they were ever going to give back to me. Right? Oh, especially at work or in my most intimate relationships. Oh, I was on one hand, I didn't know how to respect others and feel safe with them. And on the other side of the coin, I was such a people pleaser that I always put myself on the losing end of the stick in public for the most part. What I mean by in public is even with friends or at work, out of the home, I was a giver. Oh my God, I let some of my bosses use me, just a couple of them, then finally, thank goodness. I mean, I didn't think like everybody else, so I was embarrassed on how to participate. I was messing up all over the place, and to overcompensate, or to compensate for that, I would overcompensate by working really hard. And then also giving them credit for my work. That happened a lot. I was trying to buy their affections or their loyalty. And I'll tell you, that didn't work out very well. I forgot to put eyebrows on. Yay, I remembered. Just in time. I know, I gotta get going. What are you gonna do today? Do you have a plan for your day today? Oh, so I'm gonna talk about this one of these days some more too. I have it written down because Diana mentioned it. Thank you, Diana. About what do I do for meditation? Oh, girl, I've got so much to say about meditation. So much. Thank you for bringing it up. You know, if you can find a way to recognize that meditation is not always sitting cross-legged on the floor. Look at all these crazy hairs. I told you my hairs grow fast. Really fast. And when I put this stuff on it, you can really see them. There we go. Okay. Put a little extra powder on my brush. I did it too soon one time and the brow mascara just went up my face. It was like, damn it. But recognize you don't always have to, like I said, sit on the floor cross-legged and hum. When I'm like this, blah, 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 I do stop thought, change thought. Clear my mind just for a second. No thinking, no thinking, no thinking. Shh. And that helps slow down everything and helps me be able to stop talking. Those are little mini meditations, because that's the same exact process that it takes to sit cross-legged on the floor and be silent. So those are great little exercises, especially if you have trouble doing that. I call it guru meditation, because that's how you always see these gurus sitting so quietly on the floor cross-legged. But the basic part about meditation is that I think is misunderstood. Is meditation is about, prayer is about talking. Prayer is about sharing. Prayer is about getting gratitude or request. Meditation is about listening for the answers, listening for ideas. Does that make sense? That's how I see it. So you just have to go, shh, I can't hear my essence, my higher power, my God, if I'm busy talking, right? Remember that story about the student went to the teacher and had a full cup and asked the teacher to teach him. And the teacher took the teapot and tried to put more tea in the cup, but it just overflowed and was wasted. And so the point of the story was the student wasn't ready to learn new things. They thought everything they were going to learn was just going to influence what they already knew, like learn what they already knew better or something like that. Anyway, it's about emptying your cup. So if I'm busy using my defense mechanisms with all this yapping going on, it's keeping me from hearing a new idea, a new approach to how to handle stress. So give that some thought. Don't big deal meditation. Just remember, it's being quiet. That's all it is. All right, I hear a bunch of rumbling going on. I got to go do something with my hair before I leave the house. Love you. Have a great day. And Frankie's wore out. He was such a good boy. Yeah, now I'll pick up his mess. Look at all that. Oh, my goodness. I love him. And I love you. Okay, bye for now.